Was very slow to get started this morning, but I went to bed very early yesterday, and now I am ready for day 4 of my first arts conference as a featured faculty person. And 1 second for real talk before I head down for breakfast. This has been very interesting because not only am I teaching and setting up a classroom and going to all the events, I'm also having to manage my dietary restrictions, which if I get any tiny bit of dairy or gluten, I get very sick very quickly. And so it has been a little bit difficult to manage that, but last night I skipped out on dinner because I was so tired, and I ordered Jersey Mike's because they use Udi's buns, and so I can have a protected, gluten-free, delicious giant sub sandwich. And so I had that last night, and it definitely gave me life. And on top of that complication, I started my period the day that I was flying here. And as I've been getting older, I've been having some issues, and I get like pretty anemic with my period. And so I've been taking iron supplements, and I have a procedure next week regarding the period issue. So as soon as I come home, I'm having like a little operation. And so on top of teaching and meeting all these people and doing all this stuff, like I'm still managing some slightly intense personal things. And I'm very proud of myself for taking care of my health and taking care of me. Last night I skipped out on the dinner and set a boundary for my health. And maybe I missed out on some social fun, but I definitely got the rest that I needed, and I'm feeling good today. And shout out to, I think, Tiffany Jenkins, and there was somebody else who was speaking at some event and had a bunch of things going on and posted a video from their hotel room, like crying because they were too depressed to go out, and they stayed in the room and they were upset about it. But that video that I saw several years ago is what gave me the comfort and confidence to set boundaries and say no to the dinner last night so I could care for myself. And so talking about caring for ourselves, even in moments where we're kind of in the spotlight, is important. Okay, that's all. I'm gonna go eat breakfast now. Okay, I am in the classroom. Class starts in about half an hour, and today is pink eraser day. So I get to dig out this huge box of pink erasers they provided. Oh my gosh, it's so heavy. I can't pull it out. I was absolutely thrilled that everybody came into Pink Eraser Art Day so excited about Pink Eraser art. A lot of the participants had already seen Pink Eraser art on the internet, on Pinterest, and were just pumped and ready to go. So I gave them the safety spiel about carving so small. I told them about how Pink Eraser art came about, and we dove into just creating whatever they wanted. Their only assignment was to make some doodles. And I invited everybody to bring their paper bag books back into the classroom so that they could print their eraser art into their paper bag book and just explore incorporating the two mediums together. Some people had experienced printmaking and others had not. Because these were all art teachers, they all already understood positive and negative space, so we really got to skip a lot of those basics and dive right in. I had one student who made a reduction print on her first go around, and then we also had people using Crayola markers in their prints. After that session, we went into lunchtime. There was a silent auction. I skipped the performances and just spent some time outside and texted my kids. And after that, I headed into the musing for the day, where we were visited by Chaz Guest and got to hear his story about how he became an artist. And we got to see lots of his work and hear the stories behind it, which was wonderful. During the interlude time, I went exploring around Todd Hall at MTSU and was absolutely blown away by this Middle Tennessee Best of the Best art show. All of this artwork was created from middle school and high school students. There was photography, there was printmaking, there was so many different mediums, and they were absolutely astounding. And I brought up this incredible showcase of young talent with my group of educators that day, and everybody agreed that they were just blown away and that these young people were creating artwork that was even better than what a lot of us had created. It was very cool, and I did get a chance to talk to a couple of the young middle school and high school artists who had this artwork on showcase, and they were so sweet and grateful and just wonderful to chat with. I really enjoyed this time being in an art building at a college campus and just being surrounded by creativity and creative people. There was an official art walk where all the artists were there that you could chat with, which I did participate in. But while I was here at this time taking these videos, it was just me, and I got to spend time really looking at everything and took myself on my own little art walk. There is something really incredible that happens when you get to view artwork from other creators and see the stories that they were telling and the techniques that they used and the way that they all use mediums very differently from each other. And I thought it was funny that I also found more graffiti during my art walk, as well as this staircase mural that is 3 stories high that is currently being painted by a student at MTSU. And during my explorations, I went up to the 3rd floor and visited with my elementary education faculty counterpart, Jonathan Jervich, who was also teaching people how to make things from silly mediums. His entire workshop was about creating with cardboard. They made these miniature art galleries, they made abstracts that were wrapped up with yarn, and they made trolls. And this was artwork that was on display in the printmaking room where he was teaching. And then we returned in the afternoon for core session 3, where I taught everyone how to make multi-stamp sets. And in this session, I really set everyone free. I didn't do any direct instruction. I passed around examples of multi-stamp sets that I have made and encouraged everybody to explore whatever idea that they wanted to. And at this point, I just wandered the classroom. I answered questions. I helped people if they were trying to figure out a concept. And it was fun to, after 2 days of instruction, just to set everybody free with the things that they had created and the materials that I had provided to see what they came up with. There was so much joy and excitement in the classroom during this time. And there were people who came up with themes and were creating whole collections and were saying, "Oh, please take a picture of mine." Take a picture of my artwork. And everybody was just absolutely thrilled. And it was a great way to end this day. Oh, and there was something really funny that took place. My publisher sent forward these cards ahead of me to the Tennessee Arts Academy so that all of my participants could have a discount code for my book. And the cards had gone missing, and they told me, I think they're lost in the office. And then later they came in and my director said, "Do you want the story or do you want the lie?" And we had a really good laugh. The kids at the MTSU theater department had these cards in their pile of stuff, and so they gave them away to all of the theater people when they were supposed to go to the visual arts people. And it ended up that there was a huge to-do about it. They were sending out push notifications via the app trying to recollect the cards so that I wouldn't know. I thought the entire situation was so funny. I was not upset at all. I'm a very easygoing person, and we live in a digital world, so everybody was still able to get their coupon code. And of course, I'd made friends with all of the theater faculty, and so they told me, well, I've already forwarded the card to all of my visual arts colleagues and friends that I know. And so I was like, maybe this has actually been better in the long run. Anyway, it made for a great conversation at dinner that night, and after dinner, I got to introduce a vegan colleague to Cinnaholic, so it was great.